through the bans, you can do that, but they've already set up for very good setups into the neutral objectives here. They should want to look for a playmaking XP for Tekashi to give them even more prio in these neutral objective takes, or maybe even just a safer pick. Play for gold lane now, knowing that there's an Akai and a Mathilda, a deadly combo in these setups.
Honestly, I feel like in this particular matchup, when I'm looking at Smooth and I'm looking at Tekashi, I just wish that the game allowed us to have mirror matchups like Benedetta v Benedetta. That'd be so hot.
So hot.
Lapu and Lapu.
Lapu and Lapu? Oh, please, come on. Don't leave me on like that. Rizla already banned. Valentina going to be the follow-up ban for the side of RRQ Akira, which begs the question about mid laners. I mean, EXP is obviously going to be really important, but they get rid of the Boxia for the side of Team SMG.
Good ban.
That means Novaria might also be a ban for RQ. That's a good combo with the Bruno. They're not that concerned about the Faramis because of this Lilia, and also they have the Guinevere to kind of force some purifiers whatsoever. So I think Novaria should be the ban, or a Gord actually for the side of RRQ, because you already have the protection. You need more damage from the backlines to kind of combo with the Bruno so that they literally burst people from a long distance.
I like the idea of that, right? You know, Gord has been one of those few picks that only come up when you have people who are trying to be tanky, and especially around neutral objectives, super obnoxious for junglers. Now we see the Faramis ban. Valentina and Faramis bans for the second phase of RRQ Akira.
Despite having the heroes that's great against that, they steal it, the Benedetta. Okay, how do you answer that?
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Tell me you're not excited about this. 80% win rate so far. Woo, yeah.
We've got to be excited for Smooth on to Benedetta. Any playmaking hero that he gets his hands on, he usually just is able to take the game into his own hands. But we'll have to see what RRQ take here.
Paquito maybe?
In the XP lane, right? Paquito would be a good choice against the Benedetta. It's a great matchup, but I'm thinking maybe Yu Zhong. They want to dive to the back to provide some more of that pressure towards the backline of SMG. That's kind of a... Oh, wait. The Minotaur Dome. I spoke to Luis yesterday, and he did say that this isn't my pick, Minotaur. We also mentioned earlier, when they go for these quote-unquote meta picks, they don't do too well. They gotta stay on comfort.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the few situations, especially when Roamer is the most last pick role in pretty much the entirety of the group stage so far, that Luis finds these engages, but then there's that big disconnect, and it always happens in game number 1.
Yeah. Okay, well, the Minotaur obviously is there to protect the team, and there's still legitimate, like, Minotaur killer for the side of, Team SMG. That's why I kind of like that pick. The Khalid, though, I do understand why they pick it up, but
I agree.
They are so all in on the early game, at least for RQ. They may just make it up. They may just mess it up. By the way, RQ, their early game is very, very strong.
Oh, yeah.
Even the stats tell us that, 10 to 7.2. And that is their main win condition. For Team SMG, it's all about team fights. And I do like their odds in the late game more than RQ.
Well, it's time to get our first best of 3 match underway here at the M5 World Championship group stage. Give it up for both of these teams as they will be hitting the land of the dawn. It's going to be RRQ Akira on the blue side, looking for a sweep against Team SMG on the red side. Let the battle begin.
Welcome to
Right as we get in, a big question instantly for me, personally. Minotaur, the pick yesterday didn't quite work out for RRQ Akira, mainly because there was a big hurdle in front of him. There was a Valentina that can steal away the Minion Fury and basically do the same thing. This time, Luis is a bit more free to do whatever he wants. Hey, even in the mid lane, Sagan's doing a lot.
There's a lot of damage with Novaria, and love the fact that they were able to clear that out. It's always difficult for Novaria to kind of survive the first actual wave, especially against a hero like Lilia. Lilia is a very strong laner, but now this means that there could be an invasion.
Soxa already used the Retribution. King just walking up, secures the retreat. Luis might be sacrificed here, but the rest of the team follows it up smooth. Jumping with the Phantom Slash. It's going to be Soxo's taking low, Luis as well, but they decide to back away. And RQ just takes a big win. That's a spatial migration with a Violent Requiem to lock Stormy down. And they get out.
Yeah.
That's the early game that you want to see from the side of RRQ with Kira, and I think even for Stormy, he wasn't expecting King to actually hit level 4 so quickly after getting a kill as well as an assist. You know, the calculations in his head, thrown off guard. No!
They don't want to stop there. Saksa, he's died once now. Make it two as they try to dive in, but Smooth provides good cover. Miko with Smooth, looking to go for another kill. Louise is running for the hills. The Petrify is ready for Smooth, but he doesn't quite commit it just yet. He is saving it. Ooh, good body block from King. Denies a kill.
Great idea from RQ Akira to actually still invade. I'm surprised that Saksa survived, but that's because of his tankiness. King does have an ultimate. Does not commit it. Maybe they're saving it for the turtle fight.
I think I mean, at this point of time, I feel like even for RRQ Akira, right, these neutral objectives, especially for these turtles, yes, it's a good way to kind of snowball out of control, but with the lead they've already achieved, might as well drag out this laning phase for as long as possible, right? I mean, we're looking at the emblems, we're seeing early cooldowns, we're seeing the fact that they can rotate quickly. Team SMG is the one who have to respond rather than RRQ Akira, who basically will start stealing resources all across the map.
I'm gonna be looking at the early game again. Look at what the decision was from RQ Akira. They chose to delay the first turtle fight because they know that they can still out-level this Akai. Akai is now level 4, but King is almost level 6.
Oh, look at that damage coming in from Takashi. I mean, this early game could not go any worse for the side of Team SMG. I don't even know how Saksa is going to walk up here.
RQ can play the long game. They can continue to poke and utilize or bait out some skills. Astral Echo already committed down. Saksa poked down by the glooms from Sagan. They're looking to go for this, but Saksa has the help of the guiding wind. That's going to be King who jumps in with the spatial migration. A good heavy spin, but it's still going to be King with the help of the Minions Fury from Louise to secure it. Beautiful eye for an eye from Smooth, but it will not be enough for SMG to do much in this team fight.
Brutal stuff. Whoa, Miko, let's calm down. Miko, you don't need to go even further than this. He should be okay, but overall, I think the big concern in the mid lane is the fact that Stormy, especially when you are on this Novaria, it's not like a Lilia where you can constantly spam spells. It's one of those things where you have to kind of play around the cooldowns.
That's right. RQ Akira now leading with 1.6k. And this is what we expected. The early game coming up from RQ, it's pretty good. And they're utilizing it well. The fact that they are also taking away many levels from Saksa, they're just making sure that this Akai will be a non-factor. That means that in the first Lord fight, they will have absolute dominance over Team SMG.
For how long, though, right? What's the timing that we're looking for that Team SMG bounces back? Are we talking about First Lord or are we talking about Second Lord? I feel like it's First Lord for now, but if that 1.7k lead turns into maybe a 5k lead, it might even be Second Lord.
Yes, and it's mainly dependent on whether or not Saksa will be able to tank up. So at least if he gets 2 items or 3 items, that will be a treat.
Saksa just gets pinned down and shot down by Gusta Lagusta. With the Purify, doesn't even matter. Just like you said, Wolf, no BMI this time. It proves to be quite lethal.
Yeah, worst yet, it's one of those few situations where you're looking at your support and you're like, hey, you got guiding winds? And he goes like, yes, proceeds to circling Eagle. It's like, buddy, help me out here. Come on, give me something.
Well, he's flying around, right? I mean, trying to provide support, I guess, with a knock-up maybe to try to peel, but yeah, it was tough.
Animation lock, man. That's the beauty of it. So far, Smooth has been doing okay against Takashi, right? He hasn't been giving any of the gold over to him or any of his teammates in the time being. And I think that at the very least, the playmaking capabilities of Smooth is great, but Takashi, he's holding it back.
Takashi doesn't care. He's leaving a full wave, and that's going to be Sagan who just picks up the kill. Crisp, clean calculations. Smooth used everything except the Petrify and still couldn't get out. Now it's a Circling Eagle from Miko to maybe provide some sort of an opening, but Saksa says there's no way.
I'm getting flashbacks. MPL MY Grand Finals, it looked almost like this, where an early game team known as the Homeboys really puts the stops onto Team SMG, forcing them to play hyper defensively, and worse yet, they can't seem to get on their tempo.
And Saksa is not having a great time on the Sakai. He's 1,000 gold below, I would say, King a few minutes ago. So that means that lead might have inflated. So what is the implication of that? Come the first Lord fight, you're absolutely not going to be able to tank up the damage coming up from RQ Akira because you probably have only 1 full item for you. And then, come the second Lord fight, you will only have 2 items, which means that you will be bursted down by Gusta Lagusta, by Sagan. it will keep on ballooning. There
This
has
dude.
to be a way for them to come back. Oh my goodness, Sagan.
Stop it. Let the man recall. Let him recall. No, Luis, don't do it.
Okay.
Okay, respect. Respect is given. Thank goodness. But they also proxied the wave to try and get this lane swap down really well. Like, Brody has already made it to the lane, and we can see that Takashi is making his way down to the bot side after he clears mid.
Saksa might be forced to use the heavy spin here. He's gonna be pinned down. Sandwich from both areas. Saksa moves in, goes in for a heavy spin aggressively. But that's gonna be Minions Fury locking him down just for a bit. A good petrify. Gustav flickers out, and the coordination is perfect from RRQ Akira. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Miko dives in with a circling eagle. Takashi just heals back up.
Oh!
There's another re-engage. Miko gonna be slashed down. No wins everywhere on the map for SMG. It's a disaster.
The mechanical mistakes are really starting to pile up here. At a certain point, you're wondering, hey, does this team have what it takes? And right now, Team SMG are not looking on form.
Yeah. The first 6 minutes of the game was because of the draft and how RQ Akira decided to just pin down Team SMG with a draft advantage that they have in the early game. But the past minute, that is just literally just Team SMG losing all those team fights.
He used Red Tree too. Basically, he had to just give up on the turtle take now.
That's right.
I don't think it's worth it for Team SMG to walk up to the turtle at this point, right? This is 7 minutes into the game, building up to a 5K lead. A majority of the members of RRQ Akira are basically almost a full item ahead, maybe a half component at the very least. Oh, man. He didn't even use his Reggie for the first initial turtle, so this is just gone. And what can... Oh,
Not even for the steal.
Nope. That gold disparity between the two junglers is building up. And Team SMG at this point, they can't even defend their tier 2 despite them having 4 members up in and around that top to mid side. They're just going to have to give it over to RRQ. They'll even take it as slow as they can to try to deny as many minions. They're really maximizing any sort of punishes towards SMG.
You know, I was talking about this the other day about, you know, maximizing your leads and really making sure that there aren't any holes in your gameplay. But right now, RRQ Akira, right, they are warmed up. They're not playing as slow as they were in the previous matches of their group stage. But against Team SMG, it feels like this is it. They are warm.
1v3, Takashi taking everything. Finally, SMG are on the board. And that took 3 ultimates.
So remember when I told you earlier that I'm just the biggest liar? It's just, it happens every single time. You just can't compliment the team without them immediately almost running it down.
CC, Caster Curse.
The caster curse. Takashi might have died there, but look at the macro coming out from RQ Akira. They're invading once again. They're taking away so much from Saksa and punching him now.
No heavy spin. It was used up earlier, and Saksa just gets locked out. A torn apart memory fadeaway picks him up all the way from downtown. And that's Saksa, who's out. Whoa, Miko, circling Eagle, trying to provide some support maybe to Smooth, who's in that bush, who's looking for perhaps a little bit of an ambush. Gusta Lagusta walks up now, gets caught in the Phantom Slash, but Gusta outtrades him.
My god, just literally one attack coming out from the Brody. It's more than enough to kind of take away 30% of the HP of the Benedetta. We don't want that to happen because you need a frontliner. Typically, you're going to be looking for Miko as well as Saksa, but somebody has to stay in front and peel for the Bruno. That's their main win condition. Now at 9 minutes in, they deploy the orange buff to Sasa. So let's see if this makes some difference.
Oh, Miko's opening up quite well. Saksa jumps in. Violent Red Ribbon steals it for SMG, but Louise with a flicker minion. Fury
Oh my
Takashi
goodness.
slashing Sasa in the back. SMG got the Lord, but at what cost?
The Raging Sandstorm flicker is just... Oh, no! Miko also losing his Purify as well. I mean, all the battle spells are coming out from the side of Team SMG, and they just bought themselves time with a simple steal, but you can see that RRQ Akira are still very much in control.
Man, you gotta give it to Saksa.
Yeah, well played.
Well played. He found the opening looking for King and found the best spot in that Lord pit. The wall around the Lord was able to pin him down. I think that if they haven't lost Sasa during that moment, it was the perfect timing for Team SMG, because if RQ Akira gets the Lord, surely one of their inhibitors would have gone down because of the lead that they had. Oh my goodness, the damage.
Oh, one more hit! And the lethal ignition does its work.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Whoa.
Well, at the very least, we know that lethal ignition is, especially when you have that early lead like this, is so worthwhile compared to concussive blast. Oh god.
No Purify this time. Miko just going to get taken down. A good heavy spin though from Saksa. Another response. Gusta Lagusta pinned down and taken out by Sasa. It picks up that shutdown, and just like that, Team SMG have found another chance to prolong the game.
This is Saksa. I mean, it was terrible. Whatever happened in the early stages was terrible. You see his last two moves, able to pin out Sasa, Gusta Lagusta, and then eventually steal the Lord. It could be perfect for Team SMG for their road to recovery. Still, very much of an uphill battle. But we were talking about the amount of items, right? So come the next Lord, it might be enough for Saksa to get his third defensive item. So that might be enough for him to kind of tank it.
Okay, especially with the current economics that we're seeing right now. Let's look at the damage dealt, right? Stormy is actually catching up pretty quickly, with Takashi and Sagan just behind him.
I love this. The Twilight Armor for King. It's the anti-Nuvaria item. Even after the late stages of the game, that's going to be great for tanking the damage output coming from Stormy, but also against Sasa, especially when you kind of be lucky when you actually catch the critical coming out from the Bruno. You really nullify that damage output, so I really like this Twilight Armor pickup coming out from King.
Okay, something that kind of kills two birds with one stone, some may say, because most people are going to be leaning into, you got to make sure that you have the right items to get away with this, but RRQ Akira looking to go for these flanks, and Smooth hiding in the back.
Oh no, Takashi found him. One auto attack, that's 30% HP.
That's
3
another
bars.
trade back though. Yeah. I mean, the Khalij's damage right now is disgusting. Saksa opens up, finds Luis. Meteor's Fury can't be cancelled, and he's able to knock Saksa up, stopping any sort of full initiation, and also technically baiting in a massive resource. King jumps in and baits out the Purify as well.
Oh, no.
Even though he committed the Requiem, I think it should be worth for a Purify.
Yes, I definitely agree with you on that one. 81 seconds, and all they need to do is to wait for the ultimate to be back up once again. They can now take the Lord, maybe get the aggro for now, and Lord dance against Team SMG.
Oh, Sagan, you just stop it. Come on, Saksa, he's holding on, and eventually the black shoes will come out. Is there a punish here, though?
There should be the Purify. Oh,
no,
a great
Sasa.
Petrify from Smooth, but now it's going to be Takashi in the back line. A good one in nature. Provides the sustain for Sasa. Now it's going to be Sasa who walks up, but King secures it now. The turnaround with the spatial migration. Gusta Lagusta has everything still up and ready. It's a 2-for-1, technically 2-for-2 if you count in the Lord.
All right, Wolf, walk me through the economics before the Lord starts walking into SMG's base. Is this technically worthwhile for the side of Team SMG, or is it eventually going to bite them once the Lord is at their inhibitors?
At this point, any port in the store for Team SMG, any single kill any single win that they are able to get, they have to take it. And honestly, I didn't think that Team SMG would have gotten more than what they had for that particular fight, because they allowed Sasa to be successful because of the win nature. He survived after the initiation coming up from Tekashi, which I thought was already pretty good, and then they punished Tekashi. They might not have gotten Lord, but the thing is, Saksa did not die as well. So I think there are many little wins for Team SMG for that. So to answer your question, I think it's worth it.
Okay, let's see whether RQ Akira have anything to say about how worth it that was, because they're looking to break open these inhibitors.
A good charge from the Lord. RQ just hovering over, looking for a chance to engage. Saksa gets chunked. They're trying to bait out that heavy spin, but it will not work out for now. Gusta, one last shot, finds it onto the base turret in the bottom lane, taking it down Smooth. That's a beautiful final slash out to Gusta, but there's no follow-up. Torn apart memory, ooh! Flask of the Oasis and the Guiding Wind just providing him enough HP to survive. Now it's two waves coming down in the mid lane, and that's going to be a spatial migration, baiting out a heavy spin. King gets out for now. Saksa no longer able to provide the right amount of cover for the team, as that has been baited out.
I'm looking all across the map. I'm looking at the numbers here. I still see that 5.2k lead, and yet it felt like,
Meteor's Fury with a flicker combo. That's a 4-man knockup. King gets a spatial migration. Saksa somehow still able to survive. Gusta went for a greedy last hit, and he gets last hit instead. Ooh.
Wolf, walk me through. What is Team SMG doing right here? Like, it's clear that the economics are now not favoring RQ any longer, but how did they pull this defense off?
Dial back 45 seconds earlier, RQ here made great baits, but Team SMG just found the better punish against RQ Akira. They overheat, literally overheating against Team SMG. That jump onto Saxa was far too greedy. You have to take note of the guiding winds now. The saves coming up from Team SMG. That's what you need to respect if you're RQ Akira.
I mean, the favor coming out from Miko is actually providing so much value on top of the Flask of the Oasis. Multiple saves actually coming up in a very short period of time. But I think that at least, you know, we were worried about Team SMG not being able to get out of that early game. And here we are, 16 minutes of the game, 49,000 to 48,000 as the gap closes with one inhibitor missing.
Whew. At this point, you're gonna have to respect the damage up of Stormy. Surely King will be prepared, well-equipped versus the Novaria, but everyone else will not be. Tekashi will be now scaling downwards, actually, as the Khalid. Yes, you still deal a lot of damage, but you get taken out very easily. And that's also true for Gusta Lagusta. You gotta be mindful of the Novaria, because the thing is, Saxa will just look for you and you pin you down. That's gonna be Astrospheres raining down on you for sure, that you cannot... You gotta take care of yourself, because the Wind of Nature or any other defensive item will not be enough for that.
Getting outscaled might be a problem here, but okay, so now that the tables have kind of flipped, we're expecting at least that RQ Akira is going to make a move across the map in terms of just the wave management, right? Oh, okay, this is getting kind of spicy here, as this dance is quite messy.
Yeah. It's good coordination from both these teams, but I think SMG are winning out in the trade for now. They have more resources to play with. Sasa has just bought the Immortality. Miko gonna be chunked. So does Smooth in the mid lane by Tekashi, who now reads it out. Wow! More basic attack. He's looking for a torn apart memory. Finds it. Smooth gets chunked. Photo helping him out now. Final blow to the back, but Smooth, what? He just gets taken down. Now he's gonna be king with the Requiem. He jumps in and finds the Rectree. RRQ, they still decide to fight. That's a flicker from Luis, but look at Sasa dealing some damage. Another re-engage from Saxa. Now it's RRQ with a torn apart memory and the Raging Sandstorm. Sasa thinking low. Immortality down. Does he buy a winner truncheon? No, he doesn't. Saxa now loses the Immortality, able to dash out. SMG survive. They get a 1-for-1, a 2-for-1.
Oh man, I don't know. It's one of those situations where you're like, protect the president, but the president says, go, 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 green light.
Yeah. Stormy playing a very important role, dealing the damage and eventually taking out King, and then you can see Tekashi taken out. But obviously we talked about the fact that Tekashi will not be as tanky as you would think he is, especially because he went in for damage build. I gotta say though, Saxa just really is playing this mid game so well, as well as the early portions of the late game. He protected his teammate. Definitely the Akai with a peel. There's a lot of future for Team SMG, especially because they will be able to clear out this Lord lane.
I mean, look at the damage show, right? Sasa and Stormy now top of the charts as the top two, with Sagan and Gusta just behind them ever so slightly. And I think especially once we are getting to this point of the game, oh my god, look at that damage!
Ouch.
Ouch.
Big oofs all across the board. And I mean, this has to be a little frustrating for RRQ Akira, right? Like, it kind of slipped through their fingers.
Yeah. But they put themselves in this position, right? I mean, they decided to fight despite getting the Lord.
Exactly. And also the mid lane overheat, that really will... Yeah, you'll be thinking about that. But they still have the important lead. They still have the way to end this game.
Smooth. Oh, good eye for an eye. Phantom Slash again. Saxa with a heavy spin. Gusta is able to position himself very well. Now to torn apart memory with the help of the Glooms. Finds the kill back.
Oh!
Gets sniped from downtown. Stormy threads the needle.
Now no inhibitors left for the side of Team SMG. They trade 2-for-1. They trade up for an inhibitor. And at the end of the day, this is just becoming more and more difficult, despite Team SMG actually outscaling RRQ Akira for these neutral objectives, which is the main end condition from either team.
And especially now that teams have started to study managing the lanes, what you can do for RRQ Akira is to just macro it out, and Team SMG needs to force the fight. If you're smart as RRQ Akira, you would want to just, play it slowly. Just play the macro game. Wait for the next Lord. Set it as a trap. Win the macro battle so that you'll have eventually the better shot at the late game. And despite Team SMG having the better heroes for the late game.
Speaking of economy as well, I was hoping to actually see, the juggling of items later on, especially if they want to kind of maximize their abilities. Because so far, based on what we have seen, they are looking for like the most micro of mistakes. Oh, you've used your guiding winds, we can immediately punish somebody as soon as they take it. So at the very least, there might be a potential outplay on that side of the map.
Yep. Saxa's immortality should be up pretty soon because that was popped after the first Lord, well, not the first Lord, but the previous Lord fight. So they're gonna have to be waiting for that one. Fortunately for Akira, they still have the immortality onto King, so they can be aggressive this time. But Luis, he also needs his own immortality. So I think Team RQ Akira does have the better resources in this Lord Dance.
Especially with 3 waves slow pushing, that'll
Yeah.
give SMG a bit of a problem. They have to deal with all 3 waves consistently. Luckily, they have a Benedetta.
Yeah, that is true. And the best part about sitting from this new... Oh, no. Okay. Okay, the best part for RQ to sit on this Lord, especially with Luis and his motivational shout, he can actually kind of tank through the damage with his team a little bit. Black Shoes already being used by Sagan's side, but Stormy making sure he feels the pain.
This is beautiful by both these teams.
Cut
Miko,
5.
though, he's gonna go for the ball. Oh, final blow used up smooth. That's a big ultimate now. He has to find a very, very good angle with a dash or a phantom slash if he wants to get a good petrify in. No final blow for a few seconds. He needs to go bot. As their CC in this team fight, one of their big resources burnt out. King, Spatial Migration, Violent Requiem, trying to force this heavy spin out from Saksa, but he saves it. Patient. Sasa gonna be caught in the torn apart memory. Oh, he pops him into nature, and Sagan follows it up all the way. Now another Spatial Migration. Saksa forced to use the heavy spin. Sasa buys the immortality. Saksa has the immortality. Raging Sandstorm. Kakashi finds the back, and just like that, they've set up perfectly.
Smooth.
But look, it's smooth. He finds a moment to look for a kill. It's Saksa versus King. Saksa's got it. SMG disengage, and they stay in this game.
Oh my god, they are balancing this entire game on a knife's edge.
Wow.
What a Lord Dance!
Unbelievable in RQ Akira, they have the better Lord Dance. In fact, the timing on when they went for Saksa, that's actually pretty good, but Smooth turned it around. He's actually the MVP of that fight, at least for me, because what happened was when he went in, he stopped RQ Akira from actually following up to King. They wanted to do that because already King got onto Saksa, popped the ultimate, and dealt a lot of damage onto Saksa. We're gonna see it through the instant replay. It's already a very good Lord Dance setup coming out from RQ Akira. It's very smart. But then nobody was able to follow up, and Smooth just stopping the backlines, controlling 3 members, so that when the Lord Retribution battle was there, it will be at least a 50-50 in fact. And then Saksa wins it actually. The thing is, RQ Akira did not reset the Lord when they went in for the fight. That was their mistake. Because the idea here is you whittle down the formation of the enemy and then reset the Lord.
I mean, I think that RQ Akira thought they reset the Lord. You could see that the
Maybe.
Lord was walking
Yes.
back, and then immediately that's where you see Saksa
Saksa.
actually dashing forward
Exactly.
to try and stop it so it
Exactly.
doesn't get the full regen. So it's like a lot of these factors happening at the same time.
Exactly. Well done, Saksa, actually.
And now it's an Evolved Lord that is in RRQ's base. Remember, with an Evolved Lord and a Novaria and a Bruno, the sieging prowess is impeccable. And you can see it instantly. 2 base turrets already out. One last one in the bottom lane, and it is 1 hit away. Saksa could tickle it, and it will fall. Luis is trying desperately to try to zone SMG away, but all they need is 1 hit. Saksa walks forward, gets a good hit in. Heck, it's not even them, it's the minions. King, Spatial
immortality.
Migration, baiting out the heavy spin once again. It's a resource traded in exchange.
Yeah.
2 ultimates from the junglers.
Oh, now it's dead even again after everything that has happened. This 7K lead for the side of Team SMG sounds like it's a really good idea, but we're in the ultra late stages. It's only going to be used for juggling items, and even so, we haven't seen it happen that often in the match to begin with, because sometimes these Lord Dances, there's just too many factors to consider.
Exactly. We see a Winter Truncheon coming out from King. When it comes to damage, yeah, surely you will have that from Gusta Lagusta. There's an argument that Lilia is also a late game mage, but compared to a Novaria, that's essentially not as good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Team SMG4 now, they will be more comfortable, in fact. I think they're very comfortable now. They should be waiting for punishes. I think that they should also be waiting for the immortality to be up on Saksa once again. So this will be again another very long Lord Dance. But the difference is Team SMG's lane is going to be at par with the lane of RRQ Akira naturally.
And I think at least for the side of Team SMG, they're able to play these, Lord dances and manage the waves a little bit better because RRQ Akira tend to have this, well, I would say they wouldn't get distracted, but once they make a call, it's very difficult for them to kind of call off the shot as soon as it's been made.
And now the minion waves are back to equal, right? There's no real advantage. Both sides have taken base turrets. That means both sides will have super minions to play with. They're both just playing around the Lord. It's a dance. Again.
Yep. They're going to be waiting for the Immortality to be up on Zaxa. And they just will manage their lanes. Look at the Benedetta. This is his playground, right? Late game, going for the long lane push. Definitely going to be Benedetta's gameplay. And very nice reset coming out from Team SMG, knowing full well that they also have their minions up top.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the...
Takashi backlines.
Okay. I mean, this opens up the map just a little bit here, but at the end of the day...
Whoa.
Minion Fury.
Three-man knockup, Minion Fury, but no follow-up. That's a wasted resource.
That's
a
right.
wasted big resource.
Yep, bottom lane. Look at the healthy lanes coming out from Team SMG. Somebody has to answer that.
They're just going to drag this out, right? Team SMG, it looks like they have the advantage and really benefiting from the Benedetta from their draft, right?
Hey, that's 3 catapults. You gotta have to handle that.
Oh, it's getting sweaty here. Do we call for the reset? Gusto Busta is going for the recall? No, they cancel it.
They gotta respond to it, like you said.
Buddy.
3 cannons in the bottom lane, and just like that, SMG are holding on to it. Now Takashi responds, but the Lord is so low. King needs to make a miracle play happen. Spatial migration. Final blow coming in. Requiem by King. They're not hitting the Lord. Disciplined gameplay from SMG. They get King's immortality, and then they go for the Lord. Now is RRQ on full retreat. A raging sandstorm and desperation. A Minion Fury. Wait. They find an angle to perhaps win this fight. Smooth gonna be chunked. Stormy running them down. An Astral Meteor and a good spear. Hitting Gusta.
Okay.
That was...
I mean, they trade junglers
Oh,
at the
wow.
very least, but like, I think that there's so many things that are so important in this match.
Yeah.
The wave management,
That's
number
right.
one. The calling of the shots, and most importantly, that Astral Echo to give confirmation.
That's right. And we gotta have to hand it to the entirety of Team SMG, especially with their shot calling. Smooth with a slow push down the bottom lane. He did not completely clear the wave, that's why there were 3 cannons in the bottom lane. And then it came to a point where it became poison to RRQ Akira that they had to now look the antidote for. And what they tried to do was to save that. That meant that they lost the Lord Dance. And by the way, gonna have to hand it to Zaxa. They did not damage the Lord when King went in.
Oh! Just like that, a Petrify as well from Smooth with that final blow.
It's
just
over.
like that. Team SMG, they start slow, but they finish fast. Game number 1.
Dang, what a game. What a game coming out from the side of Team SMG. What looked to be like an overwhelming avalanche coming out from RRQ Akira. Team SMG, they weather the storm.
Great play in the mid game. Zaxa suffered in the first 8 minutes of the game, but afterwards, he made all of the right plays. He even stole the first Lord, which bought them a lot of time. They eventually got a lot of items onto Stormy, and then the punish in the middle where they got baited out surely, but the positioning that you saw coming out from Miko